It depends who you ask, obviously. I think both of these managers were given kind of the same paint palette and painted different pictures of their position right now. I think Atleti are happy enough to kind of be in the race at this stage of the season and know that they will kind of take their chances, whereas Real Madrid, they know that they're going for a tough spell. They've got a lot of injuries at the back, and that's influencing them quite a lot. So I think for them, it's about getting through to kind of March, April intact, and again, thinking that they will improve. But that's the problem with all three of these sides. We've seen kind of dips, and we've not really seen kind of a consistent run of form from any of the three that gives you enough faith that any one of them can pull through right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting, given what you're saying in terms of the context. It was Diego Simeone, the Atleti boss, saying he sees Barca as the best team in the league at the moment. I mean, would you agree with that assessment?
Certainly in terms of the side that has played the best and most impressive football, the side that in the big games has come up largest. I think there's no argument there. What with Barcelona we have seen as an issue is the consistency. It's a young team. It's a shorter squad than Real Madrid or Atleti have. And so that's kind of the big question that Hansi Flick has to answer. But against Sevilla, we kind of saw that second unit that has come in. Frenkie de Jong, Fermin Lopez, Eric Garcia gets on the score sheet. Players that are starting to help out and push the starting 11, whereas they didn't have that in their dip in November and December. Whereas Real Madrid, we know that they have the firepower. We know that they have Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Rodrigo up front, and they kind of came up big against Atletico, but that backline is always going to be an issue. So yeah, we are kind of squivering between the two, but that maturity shown by Hansi Flick's side, if they can maintain that, killed the game for the last half an hour after that sending off, that will make the difference for them.
And whatever people are throwing at Barca, they are finding goals, aren't they? They keep finding a way through. What is the secret of that? Is it just the sheer number of players that they've got who do have that ability?
Yeah, I think there's a defiance about this Barcelona side. They're enjoying their football. That's one of the things that a lot of people have mentioned, a lot of players have mentioned. And Hansi Flick, almost kind of a refreshing nature to him, somebody that's come from outside the culture, that doesn't have the kind of background that Barcelona are used to. I think that kind of fresh view, that fresh look is helping them quite a lot. A lot of young players enjoying their football, as we say. And so that kind of freshness and that kind of rejection of the attitude of Diego Simeone and Carlo Ancelotti, who say that defense is the best way to win a league, that you need to be pessimistic when you're defending and kind of suffering a little bit. So I think Barcelona have that kind of fresh look. If they do win this league, it will be a league title, unlike many we've seen in the last kind of 10 years, where defense has run out as the kind of crucial factor. But they are kind of a swashbuckling attacking side. And every game for them right now is must watch because they're in such fantastic form.
What we also have at the moment, though, is this undercurrent, isn't there? The row in terms of Real Madrid, unhappy in terms of the refereeing decisions that have been made against them. We saw again after their formal complaint, we saw they were unhappy in terms of the penalty that was awarded against them in the Atletico Madrid game. Where do we stand in terms of the row, their appeal, their request for their case to be heard?
Yeah, I mean, Real Madrid have presented a narrative. They sent a 4-page letter to the president of the federation, the Spanish Football Federation, about the refereeing, calling it corrupt, calling it manipulated. There was a lot in there. There were complaints about decisions which they can feel rightly aggrieved about, but equally, the accusations they threw at the federation are, as of yet, unfounded so far. We need kind of proof of that before we can kind of give it the airtime it deserves. And the reaction has been pretty strong against them. The backlash from kind of the rest of the clubs who, if you had to ask them who the referees favoured, it would be one of Real Madrid or Barcelona. So there's been a pretty kind of strong backlash against Real Madrid. And generally, I think the La Liga president, Javier Tebas, has come out and said that they will submit a formal complaint about Real Madrid. But we've seen this kind of building up over the last year or two. Real Madrid TV, the official club television channel, every week puts out kind of a hit piece, a smear piece on the referee. And many see that as just a manner of pressuring the referees. Carlo Ancelotti has said that they're looking for kind of explanations and kind of a change to the system. But on Thursday, they did not turn up to the league meeting where the clubs discussed how to change things. So that's where we are with it right now.